Hey again everyone, this is Bob from Hot Rock Central, and in this video we're going to be exploring different ways of bus barring your solar panels to your chargers. Now most people would probably be inclined to take their strings and bus bar them right to however many chargers you've got, and that's a perfectly good way of doing it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with doing it that way. The only problem is with me, I've got 24 strings coming in here. And to have all those wires strung to all those bus bars there would create quite a bit of density of wires strung across those bus bars there. So I've come up with a way here to cut down the wire density by taking all my negatives and tying them all together on one bus bar. And then from there, what I'm doing is I'm daisy chaining from one charger to the next charger to the next charger to the next charger, and feeding them that way. But there's a little bit of a flaw in that method, in that your negative energy is starting from here and working this direction, and if your charges are under high demand, there's a good possibility you could be getting some loss towards the end of your chargers here, and they could be starving for current that they're demanding. So to solve that problem, what I did is I took another wire and I backfeed that wire all the way back to the main bus bar. That way I have negative coming in both directions, this way and that way. Now that's a little bit of a hokey way of doing things, but this is working out perfectly good for me, and I'm not having any problems with it. But there is a better way, and that's to individually feed each charger right from the main bus bar. The only problem is, in my situation right now, I don't have enough terminal space to be able to do that. So I've got some new bus bars on order that have more terminals. They're longer. And because I've got an additional charger that I just put in, 520 amp chargers now, and each charger demand to put out that 120 amps would probably be in the neighborhood of about 50 amps. To produce 120 amps at 24 volts. So that amounts to about 250 amps. Now, each one of these bus bars here is rated for somewhere around 100 amps. So right now I've got two of them stacked to give me 200 amp capacity, but being that these chargers here are going to possibly demand 250 amps, maybe even more, I need bigger capacity, so I'm going to be triple stacking these, the next batch that I'm putting together. And then what I'm going to be doing is feeding. Now that I've got more terminals here, I have the ability to feed each individual charger right from the bus bar and eliminate this daisy chain method that I'm doing right now, which also has a little bit of a benefit, because now I can eliminate these big number 2 wires that I'm using right now, and all I'll need is number 6 wires for each charger. So it cut down on the wire size that I need to accomplish that goal. Now here's another thing that you might find interesting. How many of you know how many amps you've got coming in off your solar panels at any given time? Well, I've got here a hall sensor that all my negatives are going through, and that tells me at a glance just exactly how many amps it's coming off my solar panels and going into my chargers. And I think that's just the neatest thing to have. So anyways, I'll be getting those new bus bars in here shortly, and I'm going to get this all rewired, and we'll come back and visit it after that's done and see what you think. So stay tuned. All right, the new bars are in, and I'm getting ready to put these together. But before I do that, I wanted to show you a few tips here on the best way to put these together so that you have maximum conductivity between all 3 bars. Now, there may be some kind of protective coating on the surfaces of these, or they may even have a little oxidation. So what I'm going to do is, for all joining surfaces, I'm going to take a wire wheel up here on my drill and scrub all those surfaces down real good. That way when they come together, they'll have a good contact with each other. And then this is the mounting bracket for mounting it in a box or on the wall or something like that. And what I'm going to do is change out the screws to longer screws, but I'm going to take the first two and pre-drill those so that the original screw threads are missing, so that the screw will slide through easy and just grab on this bar here. And then to further compact these 3 bars together, I've got some self-tapping screws here that I'm going to use. I'm going to use 4 of them in this, and I'm pre-drilling these first 2 like I did for those screws, so that these bolts will go through them easy and just grab onto the last bar. And then once I get that all put together, I'll get this all rewired up and show you what it looks like when it's done. So I'll see you for that. All right, so I'll put it together, and there you go, a triple decker bus bar. And let's check this out here, compare that to the other bus bar. Yeah, that's more like it. All right, we can stick some wires in that, can't we? All right, well, we'll be back after I get this all put together and show you what it looks like. All right, gang, there you go. It's all done. And as I wanted, I've got all my separate feeds now coming off the same bus bar, going to each charger. Going to that one, going to that one, going to that one, and the last one. And in case you don't know it, one of the benefits of wiring up your solar panels like this is that, let's say if you're building your system as you're going, like I am. Now, I've been adding chargers as I go along, and I'll take a string of panels and maybe move it over to another charger, and so on and so on. So, but if you have your wiring set up where you have separate negative and positives going to each charger, then, and you've got several strings going into each of those bus bars there, then you got to try and figure out which is the matching set that you want to move. So you got to hunt for the positive and negative and make sure you got the right wires. Whereas if you have all your negatives on one bus bar like this, the only wire you've got to deal with is a positive. So if you want to move one string of panels to another charger or something like that, just take out the positive wire and move it over there, and you're done with it. So that makes it a whole lot easier configuring your system whenever you want to make changes. And as you may have probably noticed, the rat's nest that was up here on the segment before this has been tidied up a bit. Well, that's one of the consequences is when you're building your system as you go, adding here, adding there, more wires get added, and they start getting piled up and start turning into a rat's nest after a while. So anyways, like I said, this system is built as you go, so it's not completed yet. And once I get everything together that I intend to get, I'll probably tear this all down, start from scratch, rewire it, and tidy it up like it should look. And of course, I can do better than this. So, but when you're doing it as you go, you gotta make sacrifices and let things go a little bit, just so you can get the job done. So anyways, I think that's all I got for this video here. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you on the next one.